All right, let's talk about something that drives so many experts crazy, that feeling that your talent is way bigger than your reputation. We're going to break down how you go from being a local hero to a globally recognized key person of influence. Let's dive in. So, I want to ask you something right off the bat. And be honest, are you the best kept secret in your industry? You're really good at what you do, you get amazing results, but it just feels like your work isn't getting the attention it truly deserves? If that sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place. And here's the goal for our time together. We're going to unpack how you can build genuine authority, start attracting the kind of opportunities you've earned, and do it all without feeling like a phony. This isn't about faking it till you make it. It's about turning up the volume on the expertise you already have. Okay, so first things first, let's really diagnose the problem. So many of us hit this invisible wall, what you could call the expert ceiling. It's that super frustrating point where no matter how good you are or how hard you work, you just kind of stop growing. The opportunities seem to dry up. This is the classic profile of what we call the local hero. You're deeply respected in your small circle. Your clients love you, your immediate colleagues know you're the real deal, but outside of that little bubble, your excellence is basically invisible to the wider market. Sound familiar? And this slide just nails that frustrating disconnect. On the left, that's your reality. Strong results, deep expertise, high skill. But on the right, that's the market's perception. Weak visibility, referrals are hit or miss, and the worst part, you get stuck competing on price instead of your incredible value. And then there's this moment. We've all had it. You're scrolling online, and you see people with, let's be honest, half your expertise, getting all the buzz, all the clients, the big opportunities, and you can't help but sit there thinking, what on earth am I missing? What are they doing that I'm not?
Well, here's the big aha moment. The problem isn't your skill. And let me say that again. It has never been about your skill. It's your profile. In the world we live in today, being great at what you do is no longer enough. You have to be known for being great. And that one little shift in thinking changes absolutely everything.
Grasping that idea is the start of a huge mindset awakening. It's the shift to understanding that influence isn't something that just happens. It's something you can and you must build by design. This isn't about luck, it's about strategy. So first, we have to totally redefine what influence even is. It's not some magical personality trait you're either born with or you're not. Not at all. Think of influence as a system, an intentional strategy that you can actually engineer. It's something you build. And building it requires 3 big mental shifts. You have to go from being just a doer of the work to also being a messenger for the work. You have to shift from passively consuming everyone else's content to actively creating your own. And crucially, you have to stop waiting to be discovered and start proactively claiming your expertise. Because here's the hard truth, right? If you don't take control and write your own story, the market is going to write one for you. And trust me, you're probably not going to like the character they cast you as. I love this quote because it puts all the power right back in your hands. Your journey to influence doesn't start when somebody else gives you a permission slip or a platform. Nope. It starts the moment you decide to step up and lead the conversation in your field. Okay, so you've made the mindset shift. That's huge. But now for the big question. What do you actually do? Well, this is where we get into the nuts and bolts, the practical system, the engine you can build to scale trust and authority.
The whole system really stands on 3 pillars. First is the platform. That's your digital home base, where you plant your flag. Second is the message. This is how you package up your wisdom into frameworks people can actually understand and use. And third is the ecosystem. This is where you connect all the dots between your content, your community, and your commercial side, so they all work together.
Now, about that platform, its number one job is just clarity. Total, absolute clarity. Whether it's your website, a podcast, a newsletter, whatever, when someone lands there, they have to know within seconds who you are, who you help, and what problem you solve. Any confusion is a dead end, because confusion is the ultimate killer of reach. Now, for your message, here's a powerful shift. Stop thinking of yourself as an expert and start seeing yourself as a guide. See, an expert lectures from a pedestal. A guide walks alongside you on the journey, sharing the lessons, the shortcuts, and even the mistakes. It's just so much more trustworthy and relatable. So once you have your platform and your message working together, that's when you can really start to scale your impact. This is how you make that leap from being that respected local hero to having a genuine global voice.
Now, a lot of people think scaling means you just have to churn out more and more content, more posts, more videos, more everything, right up until you burn out. But that's a really common and pretty exhausting misconception.
The real key to growth isn't more content. It's about getting your message into better contexts. It's all about strategic visibility. And how do you do that? Well, you borrow audiences. You get seen in the right digital rooms. You guest on podcasts where your ideal audience is already listening. You form strategic partnerships. You show up in online communities and add value. You stop shouting into the void and start joining conversations that are already happening.
And this is the ultimate payoff. When your platform is clear and your message really connects, your physical location just becomes irrelevant. You can connect with people, build a community, and create opportunities from literally anywhere in the world.
And this brings us to the final transformation, because this whole process isn't just about learning some new strategies. It's really about stepping into a whole new identity.
You see, a true key person of influence isn't chasing fleeting attention or viral trends. They're playing the long game. Their focus is on one thing above everything else, systematically building deep, lasting trust with their audience and doing it at scale. So we'll leave you with this final thought. If you're an expert, if you have knowledge and experience that can truly help people, then maybe, just maybe, your voice was never meant to stay quiet, and it was definitely never meant to stay local.